Alright, let's talk about everything that's happened so far in Genshin's version 6.1 Luna 2 and version 6.3 that's Luna 4, because let me just say this, 6.1 has made everyone insanely hyped, but I can't say the same about 6.3. It seems like a total mess. There's tons of updated and new info about the release timings, rewards, teasers, what's gonna happen in the banners and the overall story view, not as in spoilers, okay? And don't worry, I'll point out to the sources that are sort of leaky, that are sort of speculatory, or some sources that are just talk at the moment. So there's a lot to unpack here, so sit tight. And before we get started, if you're planning to spend on these banners or honestly any of the future ones, here's something that can make your life a lot easier. Eniba. I've been using Eniba myself, and it's an all-in-one platform where you can top up MiHoYo games like Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, plus tons of other titles for PC and whatnot. What makes it great is how simple and safe it is. Officially distributed through Hoyoverse, so you don't have to worry about your account. You just pick the pack you want, drop in your UID and region, and your Genesis crystals will show up in minutes. And for my fellow Indian players, there's a big good news. You can even pay directly through UPI apps, which makes it super convenient. Eniba also has a reward system for frequent users, so each time you come back, you're getting extra value. Honestly, it's become my go-to way to stay ready for these insane banners. So if you want to check it out, the links are right at the top of the description, so you'll always find it. It's genuine partnerships like these that let me keep creating the content I do. Okay, so starting with the release timings. Now, since 5 years, Hoyoverse has been extremely punctual in releasing the 42-day banner patch cycle, and on that basis we can conclude that version 6.1 Luna patch will be releasing on 22nd of October. But before that, we know there will be a 6.1 live stream, which will be on 10th of October. I think it'll be a Friday, and we'll also get some 300 Primogem codes. Now, I used to make some mistakes while talking about the banners. I used to just call them as 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and thanks to one of my subscribers for pointing it out that 6.1 Luna, 6.2 Luna are the correct names of the patch, and it's worth pointing it out because after not Krai there won't be any Luna. We're going straight to Snezhnaya, which is 7.1, 7.2 and all of that. I mean, Hoyoverse has officially listed this as an experimental Luna region, so I think the context itself is pretty self-explanatory of why we call these as Luna patches. Now let's get into the banners and know why 6.1 is making players happy whereas 6.3 is like, what's going on? According to leaks from Home DGCat and Uncle Say, who've had a pretty strong track record so far, so the first half of 6.1 would feature Nefer, who's a Dendro 5-star Catalyst user, and simultaneous rerun of Furina. Then in the second half, let me be clear, I've said this in my previous 4 videos, I think it will be Zhongli and Arlecchino, and even these sources are backing it up. Now talking about the 4-star lineups, which is basically rumors at this point, includes Lynette, Yunhin, and Lanyan, which I won't lie are some value-added characters in these banners. These rerun characters are so good that not just new players but veteran players can also use them. I mean, I'm using Zhongli still even after 4 years. The same goes for Furina, so yeah. But the real problem is we too have Nefer here, and this changes things a bit because you know what, I'll just say it, Lauma and Nefer might be the best duo that players would experience after Fontaine's favorite duos. You know, I know, players are already making comparisons and it's turning out to be great. But keep in mind, banners ain't the only reason players are happy for 6.1. It is the Archon quest, as according to some rumors and leaks, we might get to see a new rarer. I don't know what they're gonna do honestly, but whatever it is, just bring it on. Now we do have a new boss and we'll have him in Stygian Onslaught. Won't discuss much about him, but I'll just say, man, stack up your primos and stack up your resources. You're gonna need those. Now on to the event and free 4-star. So the main event might be inspired by Sumeru theme. We might actually get to revisit Sumeru, and here we might get a free Krai. Yeah, you heard me right. I mean, I'm okay with freebies, but this is what, 3rd or 4th time they're giving a free Krai? It does equally sound sus though. I mean, for the veteran players, it's like a meh situation, but for the newer players, you're getting a Dendro low character. But overall, yeah, I can understand why players are not so much focused on the free characters for now. Also, yeah, another shocker is we won't have a new map expansion in 6.1. I mean, it's a really odd situation. Like, we used to have some good amount of Primo Gems during this period, but since we don't have them, I think Hoyoverse is giving their focus to the development of UGC or user-generated content, and this is where things get interesting. What if I said Hoyoverse might be planning to add a banner that's paid as well as free? You have a battle pass that's free and paid, a separate currency, and I think what? Co-op and some endless amazing possibilities? I mean, it feels like Hoyoverse is really expanding like Fortnite or Roblox, and I won't complain because we'll be able to create custom maps, have some amazing and free things inside the game. Geez, and I just forgot, we might even have a modified stamina system. I don't know exactly what it is. Let's just say we'll look at live stream to get a detailed idea of this concept. But overall, I would say 6.1 is massive because of all these reasons. Banners ain't the sole thing people aim for. If they get content and they get something amazing that adds value, people are willing to play the game. And that's what is exactly happening in this situation. Now, I know Primo Gems ain't that great, but you get a time to save for 6.2 or 6.3. Now, before adding some more details about the future, let me just tell you why players are messed up about 6.3, or rather not happy, because for banners in 6.2 we're expected to get Durin along with some iconic reruns. I think it might be Nuviet, but overall it will be a diabolically confusing situation for the players. Like, on one hand you have Durin, Nuviet, and on the other hand in 6.3 you'll be having Columbina and an Adeptus. So this is why people are like, okay, we're not even getting to save or have a time frame to save for our favorite characters. Now, we didn't get that even earlier, but now they've reduced the Primo Gems for 6.1. It has indeed brought some doubts to the player base, like which character to really go for. If you're like me who values additions of characters in his teams with a cool backstory, without a doubt go for Columbina and Durin. Now, I wouldn't want to miss on the white Adeptus, but I know what kind of Primo Gems I'll have after going for Columbina, so I won't even argue for that. So that's the thing going on in the community. Now, as for the lore, we might get to see more of Nibelung and the dragons. We might even get some big teasers in the future. Now, that teasers might even feature the heavenly principles or some Fatuis. I'm not sure about the details, but I can definitely tell you that something big is coming. So overall, if you look at these things in detail, you can see that 6.1 is packed with various mixed things like Archon quests, story quests, banners, weapons, reruns. It's not just one thing that's shaping up the patch. Now, I'm not saying that 6.3 won't have anything like that. As a matter of fact, it will have some iconic expansion. But the main problem is still here of Primo Gem and your choices, like what characters will you go for? I won't lie, I think Hoyoverse is really making it difficult for people to choose now. It's like whether you prefer characters for clearing the abyss or, you know, facing the challenges head on, or you just love them to be with you in the open world exploration. So, what do you guys think about 6.1 being insane and 6.3 getting messed up? And do you think Hoyoverse is wanting you to take some hard decisions? Let me know in the comments, and see you all in the next video with some interesting news. Until then, stay safe and stay picky.